This video will look at one of the advanced features, movement, in your selfie project. This is one of the advanced features that you might want to try to incorporate. Now, here's my picture, right? Let me turn it off so you can see how far I've gotten. And I'm going to add in here just plain old y equals x, right? There's our nice straight line. We've already talked about adding sliders, so I'm going to add an M in front. And again, notice right away that add slider pops up. If it doesn't, it probably means you're using that variable somewhere else, so choose a different letter. I'm going to go ahead and select it. And now we've talked about how if I could try to match a feature by moving this around, it'll change the slope of my line. Well, what you can also do is look on this left side here. There is a play button, like on a VCR. If you choose that, right, it actually will change that slope between -10 and 10 here. I can come in here, if I don't want it to go all the way around, I can change those parameters from, let's say, 1 to 10. And now when I press play, it'll just stay in the positive side and go back and forth. You can also manipulate it by choosing underneath the pause now are those two arrows. Right, you can make it go, this goes back and forth, or you can make it go in just one direction. You can also play around with the speed. I can speed it up, almost looks like a clock stuck on a tick there, or I can slow it down really slowly. In fact, let's actually look at this. How about if we change this to, I'm going to pause this, and instead of a linear, let me just add a quadratic in here. So now I've got a quadratic. I have the coefficient in front of the quadratic. What does that do? Hopefully you said stretch or shrink that quadratic. You're right if you thought that. And now if we press play, right, similar to the line, it's going to move it in and out and in and out. And in fact, if we maybe slow this down a little bit, that's interesting. It almost looks like, see how my son has the peace sign with his fingers? It almost is the movement of maybe those fingers going in and out, so I can almost play around with that. Very interesting. But you can even do more advanced features with this. Here is another picture where I've added quite a few sinusoidal equations, shaded underneath them in layered them on top of each other, trying to make something that looks like waves. And if you're really interested, you can start to add pictures to those moving sliders and have things appear and disappear or move around in your picture too. So if you're interested in that, that's a little bit more complicated, but I can show you how you can attach. If you notice here, I've attached a picture to my function. And that's one of the advanced features, moving pictures or moving just part of your graph you can add to your selfie project.